You can bring unwrapped toys to Taproot Cafe and Bar, where there is a large wrap box to place toys Tuesday through Saturday 11 to 7 and Sunday 11 to 5. Taproot Cafe and Bar is located in Columbia City at 4908 Rainier Avenue South off of Hudson Street. For more info on supporting families during the holidays, go to www.givinggiftsofhope.org. Happy holidays!
Hi, I'm Paul Pearson of StarTime. Did you know that back in the 1930s, Rainier Avenue Radio operated out of a supply closet in the Columbia City First Bank? Well, times have changed and so have we. Now you can hear all the great Rainier Avenue Radio shows on our mobile app for Android and iPhone. It's completely free on the Google Play Store and the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio app.
Radio, servicing the Filipino and Filipino Americans all over the world. Radio, streaming live in the internet every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. Seattle, USA time. We are your host, Kuya Bert Kawili, Emma Heron, and
Manny Panganiban.
Radio.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenue Radio.world.
Yeah, we're saying it loud one more time. Welcome to Monday Night Sports. I'm Dupe. He's Edwin Bailey. And we are the show right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. What's up, big fella? How you doing, man? Oh, we can't hear you. Unmute you.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey, welcome to doing radio in the pandemic and everything else. We're working through what we got to work through. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you now I can't find my
We see you. We hear you. So you're good. You're good.
So you can hear me now?
We can hear you and we see you, so we're good.
Okay,
we're good. All right. I know. I want to welcome everyone to the show here, and in a minute we're going to kind of break down the Jets game. But a couple things, Edwin, I just want to throw. I would be remiss if I didn't. I mean, a really, honestly, a historic day today on a couple of fronts. Number one, the vaccine has gotten to a number of different, hospitals and places around the nation, and those individuals that are working directly with people in the hospitals are getting those first doses of the vaccine. So that is historic. It really is.
Yes, it is. Rick, I think we really need this. We need to make a positive move as a people here in the United States. We should not have been blindsided by this, and this should not have done us the way it has done us. We need for this to go over. We need for this to go over well. We need for this to be smooth. We don't need any hiccups with this whole process.
Yeah, and it seems like it's pretty well organized, and you're getting that bipartisan support, which it really shouldn't be political anyway. But
right.
It is what it is. So let's hope that people understand, though, that now the vaccine is here, but it doesn't mean we stop doing what the health experts are saying we need to do, which is to wear our masks, to keep physical distancing, social distancing, to not come together. I mean, you look at the way the numbers spiked after Thanksgiving, and Christmas coming up, and people want to be together with their families, and it's tough. But it really is this. We all have to come together to bring these numbers down and to beat this COVID-19. And unless we are going to be diligent, and it means sacrifice. And people say, "Well, it's infringing on my rights," and I have to. You know what? It's not about you. It's about us. And so hopefully people will adhere to that as we continue to.
Well, Rick, we've been quarantined here at this house since Thursday.
Oh, really?
Godson, over at my godson's daycare, one of the instructors over there tested positive. The school called. I called my bosses over at the school.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be tested on tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we've been quarantined since Thursday of last week.
Okay,
right in the house, and it's Me, Tony, and a 3-year-old.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, but and that's the reality, and it's interesting. People are saying, well, little kids can't get COVID, they can't get sick and what have you. But I was looking at reports and as young as 15-month-old, passed away, and the kids are carriers, and so there's a lot of misinformation out there. So we got to be informed. But again, a historic day, and obviously us as Black folks in particular, leery of the medical field. The way you look at all of the history of how we have been treated, and there's reason for concern. But it's been great to see a number of people on camera getting the vaccination, and also an explanation that this it seems like it was really fast, and it was very, very fast, but this really has been in the works for a number of years, since the SARS outbreak years ago. And so there's some history behind it. But with all that said, a historic day, and the medical field just doing a tremendous job worldwide to get this vaccine, a safe vaccine that hopefully will help knock out COVID-19. So wanted to acknowledge that. Also want to acknowledge historic, and Edwin, this is interesting because today the different states, they ratified, if you will, or their the electoral vote, and it is official now. Not that it wasn't before, but official that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the president-elect and vice president-elect. And it's interesting because I never knew that this part of the process had to happen, where you have these electors that come together and they basically, kind of confirm the vote of the people.
Right.
And unfortunately, the reason this happened is because there's been an attack on our democratic voting process, and saying that it was, a fraudulent. There was so much rampant fraud in this year's election, which is not the case. And it's unfortunate, all this misinformation going out. But what's really interesting, Edwin, is that you have Republican representatives in the states that are saying no, that this process, there was not widespread fraud. And then you have the Supreme Court that has basically thrown out anything that's come to it, saying that there's no basis, there's no evidence. And so as Donald Trump and the Republicans felt they would have a ace in the hole, if you will, with 3 justices that were confirmed under Trump's presidency, and they're holding fast to the law, and they're not playing politics. So that's important. That's important. So
Rick, we got to get this fixed, because right now we are not who we say we are.
Isn't that the truth?
We are not who we say we are. So we're going to have to get all of this fixed and get back on track and doing things the way the Declaration of Independence say that we should be doing things.
Yeah. Well, if you go back, you go back to our Constitution, and it just, you're absolutely right. And it's a shame that that we're having this fight, but people, you and I have talked about this on a number of occasions. People have shed their blood for this democracy and for the freedoms that we have, and to have this attack on it. And let's just hope that justice will continue to prevail. And I know this is a sports talk show, but this is real world, Edwin. It's real world.
It won't be no good sports if we don't get this right.
Come on, brother. And I want to share one other thing, Edwin. And this is my heart is broken, because of this. And I don't know how many people saw the movie with Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. I'm forgetting the name of it now. But Brian Stevenson, the attorney that and Michael B. Jordan played his part in getting Jamie Foxx, who was on death row, and just a whole institution around the death penalty. And I was watching the news a few days ago, and listen to this stat, and this is scary. And then we will get into, for our listeners, forgive me, I'm Dupe, this is Edwin. We're gonna break down the Seahawks game, but
we get there.
Yeah. But listen to this, Edwin. So from 1963 to the year 2000, there was 1 federal execution. From 2001 until 2003, there were 3 federal executions. From 2004 to 2019, there were 0. So from 1963 to 2019, there were 4 federal executions since July. Under this administration, there's been 10.
Wow.
And there's another 3 more scheduled before Trump leaves office. And Brian Stevenson, who really is featured in the movie, and Michael, like I said, Michael B. Jordan played his part. I saw him on the news, and he was talking about, our system is so flawed, and the human fallacies in all of that. And can we, and we really have proven we can't be trusted to make those kinds of decisions about should someone live or not. And it pains my heart. And unfortunately, a majority of those people on death row are men that look like us, that have our skin color. Yeah. And so people need to be aware of this. I mean, we don't have the right. I can't understand it. I don't care how upset I get, how bad someone has wronged me. I don't have the right to take someone else's life, and so, I thought about, okay, what if a loved one of mine was murdered by someone? What would I, and I just,
any circumstances,
man, I just can't see it. And I haven't been in that position, so I don't know, but I can certainly say I don't think, still, regardless of how heinous the crime is, we don't have the right to take a life. And so, anyway, with that said, I just those some historic things happening today, and just wanted to shed some light onto that. And obviously, the runoff going on, voting was started today down in Atlanta for those final two Senate seats, and so it'd be interesting to see what happens. And that's relevant sports-wise, because we've talked about Kelly Loeffler, who is one of the 2 senators that is, her seat is on the line. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think it's January 5th, if I'm not mistaken, when that actual voting day will happen. So, with that said, Edwin, enough of the tough stuff, and let's go to the fun stuff. Which, yeah.
Good job, Rick.
Hey,
that's good. That's good talk.
Yeah, man, and we got to have those conversations. We got to educate ourselves and understand what's going on. But with that said, I want to again welcome everyone to the show. And I want to get a clarification. Daniel, I have had for our call-in number 290-9865, but I'm seeing on the screen 9685. So clarify for me, and I'll get that number out there. I'm assuming what we see on the screen is accurate, 206-290-9685. But if we can get some clarification on that, and I apologize, I should know that, but hey. So if you want to join in the show, give us a call, and we'll talk a little Seahawks football. Edwin, big win over the Jets, and much needed win. Seahawks win at 40-3. And I guess the first question I have for you is that how, and we've talked about this a little bit, but I want to get your take on it again. How important is it? You only have a few games, left. I mean, how important is it for this team at 9-4 to be peaking as they are getting ready to make a playoff run?
Hey, Rick, I think it's very, very important. Back in 1986, we ended the season 10-6, and we got on the roll Thanksgiving Day against the Cowboys. And we won out. We didn't make it to the playoffs, but we were the hottest team in football.
Yeah.
Everybody told, hey, man, nobody's playing football better than the Seahawks right now.
And no one wanted to play you guys. Huh? They were glad you didn't make it.
Nobody wanted to play us. We went down to Dallas, blew the Cowboys out, and everybody else caught pure hell from us right into the last game of the season. And the Seahawks are looking like that now. The offensive line looked completely different. I mean, I'm so impressed with Hyde, Carson, and Dallas as a run game. They got that run game established. And if you get that run game established, I'm old school football. If you get that run game established, everything else will go from there. Yeah.
Well, and again, it was the New York Jets, a team that has not won, a game all season. So, you want to take that into consideration. But let me ask you this, because at the end of the day, any given Sunday, and I realize the Jets are having a forgettable season, but still, any given Sunday, and to go out and get a win like that has to be a huge confidence builder.
Hey, Rick, you've been on some good teams, man. And I know for a fact It was my first year of high school football. We didn't win a game. We went 0-9, 0-10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I was playing as hard as I could possibly play, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to get out of that hole.
Yeah.
And the Jets played very good. The Jets played very hard. It's just not their time right now.
Yeah.
You know? But I wouldn't want to run up on them again. You know?
Man, ain't that the truth?
And they made the Seahawks play. I mean, the Seahawks, once they found their stride, they hit it, and then they scored points. They played possibly the best defense they've played all year. And, it's tough times.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you make a good point. I mean, they hit a stride, and so, I mean, you can't discount that. But you're right. Defensively, got a lot of pressure, on Darnold. I mean, they did some good things. They have all season done a good job against the run. And so that's important. I tell you, Edwin, I am really, really concerned about the Washington Football Club. This team is playing well. They won 4 in a row. And as the Seahawks go into D.C. next week, man, I mean, and we'll talk more about the Jets game and break that down a little bit, but Washington is playing well, and their defense and that rookie, I tell you, see, that man picked up that football, had it like it was a loaf of bread in one hand. He was stepping. Come on, man.
Hey, as they say, any given Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Right now, if they're starting to feel it, things start going your way, you're just going to continue to get on that roll and stay there and continue to play, continue to make plays.
Yeah.
The ball tends to bounce your way. Everything seems to work out, So, again, this should be a very good football game. This is a game I wouldn't want to miss with both teams playing very well.
Yeah. The Redskins, going back to the Jets game, we'll talk more about the Washington Football Club. We'll talk more about that coming up next week in a minute. But, Edwin, I said a couple of things that did concern me, though, is that, especially against a team that is winless, and like we said, any given Sunday in the NFL, and you got to bring it. But there are a few things I think the Seahawks have to continue to work on and sharpen up. I mean, they literally have 3 interceptions or opportunities, and 1 or 2 of them could have been pick six. You can't let opportunities like that go. I mean, you got to make those plays. You just got to.
Well, Rick, that secondary is still being revamped.
Yeah,
they went from being possibly one of the best secondaries ever to none of them even still playing there now.
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah.
And if that secondary was back there, those balls are going the other way, wide open.
Mm-hmm.
The big, strong safety is about the only guy back there now that's playing. And I didn't even know that he was leading the league in not the league, but he's one of the top sackers from the secondary.
You don't Jamal Adams?
Kenny Easley. And Kenny Easley had quite a few sacks.
Yeah, but they said with the sack yesterday, Jamal Adams set a record for defensive backs with sacks. And you got 3 more games to go, so he can add to that total. I love the way that they use him, and I think that Ken Norton and the defense, I mean, they're starting to get a better feel. But again, you have some tests coming in. I mean, if you look at right now, Edwin, I'm looking at the NFC standings, the playoff standings, and so you got the Packers, Saints, and Rams. And the Washington Football Club, they are the division, leaders at this point. But you look at the Seahawks, the top wild card team. But the Seahawks, they control their destiny. Okay, and if they win out, I mean, they've got Washington, and then you got the Rams, and then you finish up at San Francisco. So the Seahawks literally have control. I mean, they control their own destiny. And this is a team now, and you talk about getting hot, finishing on a strong note. They've got to do it. They've got to do it. But you look at that playoff picture, you see it on the screen there, and again, you go into Washington, you got to come away with the win. I don't care what it is. Then you got the Rams here, and again, that is the key game because right now
I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death of the Rams, Rick. I am still game planning that defensive lineman today.
Yeah, I know. Aaron Donald, come on, man. I know.
Every time I see Rick, he's got a 2-way goal. He's got incredible leverage. He's got incredible balance, man. You overplay him, he slaps you by and goes the other way. I'm like, wow, who is this guy? He's not a big guy, you know, but he's efficient. His technique sound. Hey, man, I'm scared for the offensive guards in the league.
Yeah. Well, you know who else? I'm diverging for just a minute, but watching the Sunday night game yesterday, and T.J. Watt. Come on, man, the Steelers. Man, I'm like, wait a minute, T.J. Watt, is that, JJ, man, they got 3 of them Watt brothers, man, and then the 2 of them on Pittsburgh there. But I'll tell you what, man,
those are some talented young men, man. And and if you're not coming ready to play, they'll embarrass you.
Yeah. Well, let's just be happy that the Steelers aren't on the schedule one of those last 3 games for the Seahawks. But yeah, man, you make a good point. I mean, as you can't look past Washington, obviously. You got to go in, you got to get a win. But Washington, one of the hottest teams now, again, they've won 4 in a row. And at 6 and 7, they are leading, right now, which is like, what? But we knew in the NFC East, that was going to be the situation where, it just is what it is. So Washington is at the top of the NFC East with the 6 and 7 record, and the Giants, who, actually Giants lost, but I mean, Giants are a tough team, and the Seahawks found that out. They're 5 and 8. And then, man, how do you talk about that NFC East and Jalen Hurts coming in and played a game yesterday for, I tell you what, for the Eagles, and he put on a show.
Well, Rick, I'm telling you, man, the position of quarterback is getting ready to change, like the education system. That can't be a one-way position any longer. You just can't be big, tall, and stand back there and throw the football out the field.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to present a challenge. You're gonna have to present a challenge that all the skills that this kid possesses, all the skills that the top quarterback in the league possesses. My favorite 2 quarterbacks, is the Kansas City quarterback and the Baltimore Raven quarterback. And I have a wonderful love affair with Wilson.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson are the best at throwing the ball, and it doesn't matter what direction they're going. They can go across their body, go across, they're phenomenal at that, I mean, just without a doubt. And then obviously Lamar Jackson is pure athletic ability, talent. But Jalen Hurts is a guy who I got a lot of respect for, because at Alabama and did a tremendous job there at Bama. And then when Tua came on the picture, I mean, he got beat out, and he said, I'm going to stay with the program. But then had that 5th year or that additional year, and went to Oklahoma, had a great season that year at Oklahoma. So that was cool to see. So really nice to see him, have such a great game. Hey, real quickly, I want to remind folks of a couple of things. Number one, starting this Wednesday, really cool feature we're doing called National Signing Day, the King County National Signing Day on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Wow!
And make sure that so what we're doing, and Tony B and everyone here at Rainier Avenue Radio is doing a great job. But in conjunction with the Seattle Public School Athletics and Seattle High Schools, recognizing student athletes who've received athletic scholarships to NCAA Division I and Division II institutions. So students will actually sign their letters live, their letters of intent live on the air. And college coaches are going to participate virtually, and students will come to the station, and we'll make sure everything is physical distance, mask. It'll be safe.
Oh my God! Rick, can I come, man? Can I come down, please, Rick?
I know, isn't that cool, man? So that
first, I'd love to come down, man.
I know, tell me, man, it's going to be nice. So this first one coming up Wednesday is going to be with Rainier Beach's Franco Grattan, and that's going to happen. And I believe Tony B may be kind of hosting that show. That's going to happen. And Franco Grattan, he's going to be signing with Fresno State to play football there in the fall. And so just congratulations to him.
Wow.
Now, what's going to happen following every Wednesday, I believe, from 4:30 to 5, and I think it'll be part of the Metro.
In there, put your gun.
My man is giving you a hard time.
Oh, really, man.
That's right. So Metro Sports Weekly, that'll be integrated into Metro Sports Weekly, and that'll be something that you can look forward to. But again, just want to say to Tony B, everyone at Rainier Avenue Radio, that's a great job. And just how special is that for these young athletes? And whether it is in the major sports like basketball or football, or whether it's other sports that are not as get as much attention, like whether it's volleyball, baseball, whatever the case may be, we're going to highlight those students in this area. And so just want to say congratulations to Franco Gratton. He'll be the first that will be recognized this Wednesday, 4:30. So make sure to tune in. Also, just want to tell people to make sure to tune in. We've got the Sentiment. It's going live, and their first live show will be this Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. So make sure
please go on there.
Tune into that right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Again, I'm Dupe. He's Edwin. We are talking, among other things, our normal topic, Seahawks football. And, Edwin, I'm excited for this team because I think that, you're seeing flashes. People are starting to get healthy. Fortunately, you have a little bit of time for Carlos Dunlap to get healthy. He didn't play a lot last week, didn't play yesterday. But he is a tremendous add to that defense. And as you said at the onset of the show, Edwin, is that the defense seemingly coming together and gelling and playing better, and they're going to need to. The one thing, offensively, and you talked about that with those running backs, and Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, Dallas. I mean, those guys are getting it done. The line up front. Edwin, and real quick, we've got a couple 2-3 minutes left to go. Just what are you seeing out of that offensive line play? Do you like what you're seeing? Do you think these guys, from a run, standpoint and a pass protection standpoint, are getting to the point where they need to be, where this offense can be as potent as it's going to need to be to go deep into the playoffs?
Well, Rick, they're having success and they're showing consistency. All of that bodes well for them. Hyde, Carson, and Dallas, those guys run hard, man. They're not looking to try and make you miss, although they can. But those guys are getting the ball up the field. I think with those guys and the consistency that's coming from the receivers now, I think it's going to be good. I think this is going to be a good time to be a Seattle Seahawk at the end of the season and going into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And Edwin, if you recall, beginning of the season, one of the strong points I said that I loved about this team was their play and who they had at tight end. And I just, again, I am, a huge fan, of the tight ends and the tight end play. And I think that just as you take a look at what what they're able to do, I mean, I think that's key. That's a key. And I love Will Dissly, and it doesn't hurt that he's a Husky, but I mean, Will Dissly, his first couple of seasons obviously was injured and what have you, but he adds a lot, is a great target for Russell Wilson, and I think that's a huge strength for this team as well.
They can stretch the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they have uncovered up the field running, and that's such a big part of it. They're doing well at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Getting to the second level and covering up linebackers. They're doing a great job with that.
No doubt.
I think that at the end of the year, if the Seahawks continue to play football the way they're playing now, they're going to go deep into the playoffs.
Well, let's hope you are prophetic in that, young man. That does it for us.
I don't know what prophetic mean, Rick, but I hope I'm right.
Like Muhammad Ali, I don't know what truculent is, but if it's good, I'm that. So with that said, that's going to do it for Edwin, for myself, for Daniel B. Stay tuned, because following us right here on Rainier Avenue Radio is Live Line Live right here with Granville, Pepe, and the team. So stay tuned. And until next week, for Edwin, for Daniel B., I'm Rick DuPree. Dupe, peace out. God bless, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, Rick.